All right, class, welcome today. This hour is a vocabulary hour, and we are going to be finishing up the transportation and traveling aspect of our vocabulary, and we may get into some other words. I have another list of vocabulary words that I want to practice, but I could not upload them into the system, so we may just have to look at them on my screen until I can upload them. All right, but yes, for this hour we'll be finishing up transportation and travel, and then getting into the other topic, which would be building and places. So restaurants, offices, post office, things like that, and what we would see inside of those places. Okay, so the link that we'll be going over is right here. Okay, go ahead and open up that link. When you do, let's see, it looks like my camera just quit on me. All right, see. Okay, here we go. So yes, this is the same sheet that we've been going over. I'm going to go ahead and open up a Google image just in case we need some more images as we go through here. All right, so let's see who we have in class so far. Esther, how are you?
Hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Welcome to class today.
Thank you.
All right, how about Jose? How are you, Jose?
I'm fine, thank you. Hello.
Fabulous. Good to have you here. Michele, how are you?
Good, teacher.
Excellent. Good to see you in class.
Good to see you too.
Medium,
Hello.
how are you? Hi
I'm
there.
fine, thanks.
Fabulous. Good to have you back.
Thanks.
And Samantha, how are you?
Fine, thanks.
Excellent. Good to see you again. Vincenzo, how are you? Vincenzo, can you hear me okay? Maybe not so much. How about Bruno? How are you, Bruno?
Fine, thanks. You?
I'm doing great. Welcome to class. Bruno, have you been in my class before?
Maybe yes, just one time.
Okay. Okay. Well, welcome to class. It's good to have you here. All right. Let me try Vincenzo one more time. Vincenzo, can you hear me? There you are. How are you doing?
Wait a moment.
All right. Very good.
Okay.
Okay, everybody. Welcome to class. It's good to have you here. Fabricio made it in. How are you, Fabricio? All right. Well, I'll come back to you in just one moment. Okay. So the idea with the class is we'll take a look at our vocabulary words, discuss them a little bit. All right. Then I would like for you to use them in a sentence. All right. To use one of the words in a sentence. Okay. If you're having trouble creating that sentence, okay, then I can help you with that. Okay. I also want to remind you to keep your microphones on mute. Okay, until it is your turn to speak. Sometimes there are noises that that are around you that you may not think are loud, but come through in the microphone as being very loud. Let's see, Cicero, how are you? Cicero, can you hear me okay? Nope, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now I can hear you. How you doing, Cicero?
I'm fine, thanks. And you, teacher?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Okay, you guys, let's go ahead and get started. Let me put the link in here one more time. Okay, it's in the chat box. If you cannot see it, let me guide you to where it is. Okay, over here on the right-hand side, you're going to come down here, all right, to this link right here, and click on it. All right, it'll open up to the page that we'll be going over. All right, so go ahead and do that. I'm going to go to my page that I already have open, and here we are going to scroll down. We've already gone through most of these words, so we are going to scroll down past page number 1, past page number 2, okay, past page number 3, and I believe we ended with subway. Okay, so we only have about a page left to go through, and then we'll probably get to buildings and places. Okay, that's another thing that we'll probably get to. Okay, so for example, wow, sorry, we have a guy that's advertising that's coming close to the house. All right, so so here, for example, we talked about subway yesterday. All right, subway is a train that goes underground, and we could use that in a sentence. Then we would say, I like to take the subway to work. All right, a very simple sentence. All right, but I would like for you to read the word. We'll talk about the word, and then I'll have you use the word in a sentence. Okay, so let's start off with our following word, and this is for Bruno. Bruno, go ahead and read this word for me.
Suitcase.
All right, very close. Now that word is pronounced suitcase.
Suitcase.
Yeah, the I would not be pronounced there. Suitcase, okay? So what is a suitcase used for?
I usually use a suitcase for work, to put something like paper, books.
Okay, this would be a very similar object. Okay, what you would take to work is called a brief. Okay, now a briefcase looks like this. Okay, this is a briefcase.
Okay.
All right, and yes, you would take this to work. You can put in papers, pens, your other documents, things like that. Okay, so this is a briefcase. Now, a suitcase is just a little. Okay, it's shaped very similarly. All right, but we use it to put clothes in there.
Okay. Yes.
All right, so we use it to hold our clothes when we travel. All right, that is a suitcase. We take a briefcase to work. Does that make sense, Bruno?
Yes. Okay.
Very good. Let me have you use the word suitcase in a sentence.
I have to make a sentence using a suitcase?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay. I usually use a suitcase to put clothes when I go for holiday in a foreign country.
Okay, good. So I usually use a suitcase to now, instead of saying to put the clothes, you could say to carry my clothes.
Okay.
Carry my clothes when I go on holiday. Okay, very good. Thank you, Bruno. Let's go to Cicero. And Cicero, this is another form of transportation, but go ahead and read this word for me. Cicero, can you hear me okay? Make sure to unmute yourself. All right, let's go to Esther.
Yeah, it's a tank.
Yes, a tank.
A tank. Okay.
Good. All right. Now, what is a tank used for?
I think it's used for by in the war.
Yeah,
By,
in war.
in war.
In war. Uh-huh. And who drives a tank?
Oh, I don't know.
They are called soldiers.
Soldiers. Yes.
Yes, I put the word in the chat box. The word is soldiers. So soldiers drive tanks. Those are the guys and girls that are in the military or in the army. Now, the interesting thing about this word is that it means two different things. Okay? Now, this here, yes, this is a tank. All right? But a tank can also be kind of like a something that holds something else, like
Yes, I know.
okay, a water tank. Okay, so do you guys have these in your neighborhoods? I have one very close to me. Okay, this is a water tank. Okay, it holds water. Okay, and it's a very large object. Okay, this as well, even though it's not as large, we would call this a water tank as well. All right, so when you hear the word tank, okay, pay attention because it may not mean a war tank that shoots bombs. Okay, it may mean something that holds maybe water, maybe grain. Okay, that would be food, things like that. So you can have a tank of water or another object. But if you're talking about war and they say tank, pretty sure they're talking about the machine. All right? Very good. So Esther, let me have you use the word tank in a sentence.
I think I have never seen a tank.
Okay, I have never seen with an N at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so make sure you pronounce that N. Try that one more time.
Okay.
I have never seen a tank.
I have never seen a tank.
Excellent.
Okay.
All right, very good. Thank you. And Cicero, I hope you are able to fix the problem so you can participate with us. Let's go to Fabricio. How are you, Fabricio?
Hello, I'm fine, thanks.
Fabulous. Good to have you here. Let's go to our next word.
Taxi.
Okay, what is this?
Taxi driver.
A taxi. Good.
Yeah.
Yes, so we have a taxi and a taxi driver.
Yes.
Uh-huh. And what are taxis used for?
For transportation. I mean, the people to get another place, maybe.
Yeah. So you would pay someone who owns a car, okay, or owns a taxi, and that person would drive you to wherever you want to go, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is a taxi. All right. Do you have very many taxis in your city, Fabricio?
Yes, we have many taxis. A lot of people use it.
Exactly. Exactly. Yes, many people here use taxis as well. All right, so go ahead and use the word taxi in a sentence for me.
My my friend's father is a taxi driver.
Okay, all right, so taxi driver. Yeah, so we're using both these. Yeah, and a taxi driver is the person who drives the taxi.
Drives the taxi.
All right,
Yeah,
very
I've
good.
heard a woman, a woman, or a man, but it's more common to see a man driving a taxi here in Ecuador.
Yeah, in fact, it is. But here in Costa Rica, I've seen two women, and I jumped into a taxi that had a woman driver. I was like, "Oh, you're a woman." And she says, "Yeah, there aren't very many of us, but we do drive taxis sometimes." And I think the main reason for that is because it's dangerous. Okay, because taxi drivers have to have money with them, and robbers know that. And so they could jump in, and it would be easier for them to rob someone that they could overpower, all right, than a man which they may not be able to overpower. So that's why I think. But yeah, it was great. She got us where we were going. Very good. Thank you. Let's go to Jose. All right, Jose, we're going to skip over taxi driver. We've spoken about that just a little bit. Okay, what is this next word here, Jose?
Ticket.
Jose, can you hear me okay?
Sorry.
There
Yes.
you are.
The micro. Yes, ticket. You need a ticket for to travel and for to go to see movies and to go to the theater and.
Yeah, exactly. So we use tickets for all sorts of things, going to the movies, going to the theater, and then for travel, we use it. We can get a ticket to ride the train, sometimes to ride the bus, and more often than not, to fly on a plane. That's when we need a ticket. All right, and usually the ticket has the information here on it. Now, if you are in the United States and you are speeding and a police officer pulls you over, okay, he would also write you a ticket. So a ticket can be a good thing, okay, something that you pay for to ride on a plane or a train, but it can also be a bad thing, okay? If you are speeding, the police officer would give you a ticket, then you have to take that and you have to pay a fine. All right, and that's not always fun. So we use the same word for both things. A ticket or a pass to be able to ride on something, okay? And then if you break the law, you are written a ticket, okay? So Jose, please use the word ticket for us in a sentence.
Okay. I have to buy a ticket to go to London.
Great. I have to buy a ticket to go to London. Very good. Nice and simple. All right, Michele. Okay, let me have you read this word for me.
Tow truck.
Yeah, a tow truck. And what does a tow truck do?
I never, I never heard about that. But I think that you need a tow truck when your car didn't want to go on.
Yeah. So when your car doesn't move anymore, when it breaks down.
Yes.
All right. So let's see here. These are some pictures of tow trucks. Okay. Some of them have a crane. This here is a crane in the back. All right. Others have what's called a flatbed. This is a flatbed tow truck, and it lifts the vehicle up like that. Okay. If you've seen the movie Cars, all right. Remember this guy here? Yep. He is a tow truck. Okay. Let's see. Now, these ones here, if you have a semi-truck, so you've seen the trucks that have the front that looks like this, if they break down, they need a very large tow truck to pull them because they're very heavy. Okay? These are called tow trucks as well, but more specifically, they are called wreckers. All right? Because they're bigger and they're stronger. Okay?
Can you write this, please?
Sure. Okay, this is called wreckers. Okay, a wrecker is a larger tow truck. There it is. A wrecker is a larger tow truck that pulls semi trucks. Okay.
Yes.
So yes, there's all different types of tow trucks. All right. So, Michele, let me have you use the word tow truck in a sentence, please.
2 years ago, my car broke down in the middle of the street, and I had to call a tow truck.
There you go. I had to call a tow truck because my car broke down in the middle of the street. Awesome. Good job.
Thank you.
Great. Let's go to medium.
Yes.
Okay. Our next word is right here. Go ahead and read that, please.
Okay. Traffic signal.
Good. A traffic signal. Let's practice that TR at the beginning. Traffic signal.
Traffic signal.
Good. One more time. Traffic signal.
Traffic signal. Oh.
Excellent. Now, we also call this a traffic light.
Yes.
Okay, we call them both things. Okay, so a traffic signal or a traffic light. Okay, most cities have these nowadays, but in the city that I used to live in Honduras, they just barely got their first traffic signal. I think it was last year. Okay, the first one ever in the history of their city, and they just barely got one. So that was the city that I used to live in, and they also just barely got their first indoor supermarket. So yes. They don't have all of the fancy things that most people do. All right. So let's see. Let's talk about the traffic signal. What does a traffic signal do, Medium?
It when I read the driver has to stop, no?
Good. Exactly.
For example, green continue.
Yeah, they would continue.
A yellow or in my country on my green or yellow, no? Slowly.
Yeah.
No?
Yes, slowly. Okay, so to go slower. So yes, in most countries, red, the color red is stop. Okay, so stop, don't go any further. Okay, green is go. Okay, you can continue on. Yellow is, whoa, slow down because it will almost turn red.
Yes.
Okay, so that is exactly how they're used. They are to control vehicles and traffic movement. All right, and there's different types of traffic signals that are out there. Okay, sometimes they're on a pole like this. Okay, sometimes you'll see ones that are four direction, or they have multiple directions, so this direction and this direction. Okay, things like that. Other times, let's see. Other times you may see them like this, where it's an arrow that's green, okay, and it hangs out over the street just like this, and it also reminds you of the speed limit. All right, so there's different types of traffic signals and traffic lights. All right, so Medium, please use the word traffic signal in a sentence.
Okay. In the Yachts way, there aren't traffic signal.
Good. On the, and that word would be highway. On the highway,
Yes.
there are not, or they do not have traffic signals on the highway, would probably be the best way.
Yes.
Let's see here. All right, so yeah, you can say on the highway they don't have traffic signals, but it would probably feel a little bit more comfortable saying they do not have traffic signals on the highway.
Okay.
Okay, so just a slight difference, but very good. Excellent job. Very good sentence.
Thanks.
Okay, let's go to Samantha. And our next word here, go ahead and read this, please.
Trailer.
Yeah, and let's practice that TR sound. Trailer.
Trailer.
There you go. One more time. Trailer.
Trailer.
Good. Now, when we pronounce a TR sound, okay, we can sort of think of that like a CH. So instead of saying tre, okay, we do a ch sound, trailer. So it's like a CH and a TR together, trailer, just like that, okay?
Okay.
And that's, you can pronounce every word that starts with a TR just like that. Tree, trailer, trust, trial. They all have that same tr sound, okay? All right,
Okay.
so Samantha, what is a trailer used for?
A trailer is used for travel, to go on holiday.
Yeah, good. So they're used to go traveling. Okay,
Yes.
use it to sleep in.
Yes.
All right. Okay, let's take a look at some travel trailers, is what we would call them. Okay, so here are some pictures of some travel trailers. So this is a smaller travel trailer, all right? And this is a very large, fancy one. Okay, so they have places where it would rise up, okay, in a room. Okay, things would pop down out of the side. And these trailers can be very expensive, but on the inside, you have everything that you would need. This would be a refrigerator here, a stove, a microwave, a sink, a small table to eat at. All right, so yes, these trailers can be very, very fun. And many people in the United States, when they retire, they don't buy a house. They buy a trailer and they travel to all parts of the United States. And sometimes that's fun for them. Okay? And Samantha, have you ever been in a trailer before?
No, I never been.
Okay, I've been in a trailer once because my grandparents had one. And that was the only time I've been in one. So let's see. Samantha, let me have you use the word trailer in a sentence.
Okay. Trailer is used by people who want to not spend enough money for travel.
Okay, all right. And so instead of saying enough money, we would say a lot of money.
A lot of money, yes.
Okay, very good. So yes, a trailer is used by people who don't want to spend a lot of money on travel, okay, or in staying in hotels and things like that.
Yes.
Very
yes.
good. Excellent. Thank you. Let's go to Vincenzo.
Sorry, teacher, can I have your question?
Sure. What's your question?
So, there is some trailer that you don't need a car. You need to be called the campers.
Yeah, that
Is
would
it
be
correct in
that'd be
English?
like a it would be a camper or a I think they may actually call it a Winnebago, but let's see if I can grab some pictures real quick. So these here would be camping trailers, but if we have a camper, maybe let me try that. Okay, so you're thinking of something that's a little bit like this, right?
Yeah.
So it's a solid vehicle. Okay.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah, a solid vehicle. Here's another one here. Okay. Like this as well. Yeah, these would be campers. You could also call these Winnebagos. Okay.
Can you write this, please?
Is, yeah, let me make sure that I'm spelling it right. Yeah, right here. Okay, so Winnebago. And the reason for that is because the first person who developed it called it a Winnebago. And so sometimes, just like with Kleenex, okay, instead of calling that tissue paper, we call that Kleenex to blow our nose, even though the word is not Kleenex, but we call it that because the first person who invented it called it Kleenex, even though it's called tissue paper. So it's the same thing with a Winnebago. It could be called a camper, but not very many people know it by that name. But if you say Winnebago, they say, oh, yeah, I know what a Winnebago is. Yeah, exactly. So it's sort of like that. Okay? Very good question. Yeah, no problem. Let's go to Vincenzo. Can you hear me okay? Okay, let's go to back up to Bruno.
Yeah.
All right, Bruno, go ahead and read the next word for me, please.
Train.
Good. Nice TR sound. Train. Okay. And what is a train used for?
Use a train to for journey, to travel. Usually when you have to go in another place, different when you are.
Yeah, good. So for traveling, traveling, you can. There are what's called passenger trains. Okay.
Yeah.
Passenger trains, those would be for passengers, so people like you and me could travel on it. We also have what are called cargo trains. All right, and cargo trains are similar, but they carry like a cargo ship. Okay, yes, a cargo train, it has the same front, but it carries these boxes. You see these here? These are called cargo. Okay, cargo containers or shipping containers.
Yes.
Right, and that would be a cargo train. A passenger train is similar. All right, a passenger train is similar, but they're more often than not, they're nicer. They look better. Okay, so this is a train, okay, that's used by Governor Ted Strickland. Okay, so that's his the train that they use. All right, here's another picture. Okay, so there's places for people to sit. Okay, things like that. All right, so that would be a passenger train. Very similar, but they replace the places where people could sit with cargo and vice versa. So let's see. Let's go ahead and let me have you use the word train in a sentence, please.
Yes. Yesterday I got the train. I got train to go to work.
Okay. So you can say I got on the train to go to work, or I took a train to go to work. Okay. If you use the word got, you would have to have the preposition on. Okay, so I got on the train.
Okay. Yesterday I got on the train.
To go to work. Great. Just like that. Excellent. Nice job. Great. Thank you. Let's go to Esther. And Esther, let me have you read this next word, please.
Tram.
Yes, that is tram. Tram.
Tram.
There you go. Okay. And what does it look like a tram does?
I think it's an electric. Is for transportation people.
Yeah, people can travel on it.
Huh.
All right, and you're right. They are electric. Okay. Now, they usually go through the cities. All right, and they have a wire that is up here that gives it power. All right, and let's see. I'll show you what we have in my city. Let's go to, so tracks. So that's what ours is called, and these are our trams. Okay, so it has a power. It touches the wire up top. Okay, goes through, and those are my beautiful mountains in the city that I'm from. Okay, but yeah, they look very similar to a train. Sometimes they don't go as fast because they work downtown. They are in the city, and so you don't want to hit people, okay, or cause any problems. But yes, these are our trams. They're trams, okay? So now in Spain, do you have trams as well, or do you have trains and subways?
Yeah, there are subways. And there are tram in outside in the city.
Okay, very nice. All right, so let me have you use the word tram in a sentence.
I don't know.
Okay, so if you were to take a tram in Spain, where would you go?
If I take a tram, I would go to another. I don't know.
Okay, you could say I would take a tram to another city or to another part of the city. Okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, that would be a simple sentence you could use. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here. All right, our next word, and this is for Fabricio. Go ahead and read this, please.
Tricycle.
Yes,
Can you hear me?
tricycle, and I can. Yes, and a tricycle. Who rides on a tricycle?
Little kids. The boys under 5 years old, maybe.
Yeah, little kids ride on tricycles. Fabricio, did you have a tricycle when you were younger?
No, just a small bicycle.
Just a small bicycle. I had a tricycle when I was younger. Is there anybody in class that had a tricycle when they were younger?
Yes.
No? Okay.
Yes, I had one.
All right, Samantha did. Michele did. Okay. I liked it. I used to think I could go so fast, and I would pedal, and I would pedal, but
yes, I look like shining kids.
Very good. Yeah, so I had a tricycle when I was little. Very good. Yes, and they're used for children. There's all different types. There's metal. There's tricycles made of metal. There are tricycles that are made of plastic. Okay, and we call it a tricycle. We call it a tricycle because there are 3 wheels. 1, 2, 3. A tricycle. All right. So yes, and they have tricycles for adults as well. But yes, mainly you see kids riding tricycles. All right, so go ahead, Fabricio. Use the sentence tricycle, or use the word tricycle in a sentence, please.
When I was a little kid, I have never tricycle.
Okay, when I was a little kid, I never had a tricycle.
I never had a tricycle. Thanks.
Good, nice job, thank you. All right, let's go to Fluvio. How are you? Fluvio, can you hear me? All right, let's go to Jose.
Okay.
Hi there. Okay.
Okay.
So let's talk about these two types of trucks.
Truck.
Okay, good. So let's practice that TR sound. We're going to say truck.
Truck.
Okay. Yeah, much better. All right. So this one here is actually called a box truck. Okay, it's called a box truck.
Okay.
And they are smaller. Okay, they still have a compartment or a container where you can put things in them. Okay, but they're not as long. Okay, they're usually about 28 to 35 feet long. Okay, now which would be about 10 meters. They're probably going to be anywhere from let's see, 8 to 10 meters long. Okay, that they're a little smaller. Okay, these are called box trucks. Okay, but they still have a container, and the important thing with these is that it does not turn. Okay, so you have the truck, okay, that's pulling it along. Okay, sometimes the truck can turn like this, and then the trailer turns around. It doesn't pivot. Okay, there isn't a pivot. It's solid. It's one truck. So you have the compartment where the driver sits, and then the truck, and it's one solid unit. It's one piece. Okay, the other truck is called a semi. Okay, so a semi-truck are these big ones. Okay, and these, let me see if I can do the math really quick. 3 divided by 50 to... these are going to be anywhere, the trailer themselves, so this part here, the trailer, is at least 17 meters long, at least, okay? And then you probably have another 5 meters here. That's the size of the truck. Okay, so these can be up to, what, about 22, 23 meters long. Okay, and they're very large and they're very powerful. Okay, the other difference is that here, these you have a bed, okay, a place for a person to sleep. All right, more often than not. Okay, but these are used to go long distances. Okay, so the semi truck goes long distances, and the box truck, okay, this one here, goes shorter distances. All right. So, Jose, let me have you use, and you can choose box truck or semi truck, and let me have you use those in or one of those words in a sentence. Okay.
Okay. I am a driver of a big truck.
Okay, I am a driver of a big truck, definitely. Or you can say a semi-truck. All right?
Semi-truck. Okay.
Good, nice job, Jose. Let's go to Michele.
Yeah.
All right, our next word here. Go ahead and read that, please.
Van.
Yes, a van. Okay, and what are vans used for?
I think that we use van for transporting more than 4 people.
Yeah,
but less than 8.
Yeah, more than 4, but less than 8. Okay, so a big family, right?
Yes, it's a
Okay.
sort of little bus.
Yeah, it's a small bus. Now, vans can also be used for work. Okay, so these type of vans that do not have windows, okay, you would use these for work.
Yeah.
All right, and plumbers sometimes would use them. Electricians would use them. Okay, so we would call that a work. All right, let's see if we can get a good picture here. All right, so yeah, you may see a ladder. Okay, so you'll have a ladder on top. Okay, maybe some wires, maybe tubing, things like that. So these would be different type of vans that are used for work. Okay, and then obviously the other one would be a passenger van that takes between 4 and 8 people. Sometimes they have larger vans that take up to 10 or 15 people. Okay, but those, we specify that. We call that a 15 passenger van, and they're very, very big. Okay, so a 15 passenger van, okay, they're pretty long, and they have an extended cab back here. And this is what they look like inside.
Can we call this kind of an minibus?
You could, but they would probably call that a minibus in England. Okay, I would imagine. In the United States, we would specify it, and we would say, yes, I have a 15 passenger van. Okay,
Great.
I don't know why. I don't know why, because we're known for kind of shortening things down, but with this word, or with this particular item, we call it a 15 passenger van. I don't know why. And when I played music, I'm a professional musician. That's what I used to do. I used to do that a lot, and I would travel around the United States, and we had a 15 passenger van that me and my bandmates would live in for a time. And yeah, it was pretty fun. But yeah, we called it our 15 passenger van. Don't know why, but very good. Go ahead and use that in a sentence, Michele.
When I was younger, I liked to watch a movie, and it's called A-Team, and they use a van.
Yeah, the A-Team.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun 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 dun. Yeah, I love it. That's great. I'm glad you remembered that. I was actually watching the A-Team with my son about 2 weeks ago. I was like, my son, his name is Xander, and he's 9.
Great.
I said, Xander, you need to watch this show. This is the greatest show ever. And we sat down. He's like, this is boring.
No.
Yeah,
Look at BA.
I love the A-Team. I know, B.A. Baracus. He was great.
Yeah.
That's funny. Very good. Thank you. Let's go to Medium.
Yes.
All right, Medium. Okay, let's see. Okay, this word right here, please.
Wheelchair.
Yes, that is a wheelchair. Okay, and what is a wheelchair used for?
Used for can't walk, no?
Yes, for people who cannot walk.
Yes.
Yeah, great job, Mediums. So yeah, it's for people who can't walk, and sometimes for those those who can never walk, or those who may have broken legs, all right, and they need something to transport themselves on. Okay, there are different types of wheelchairs. There's electronic that has a remote or a control, so that they don't have to push it with their arms. All right, but they can do it with a remote or a joystick. So let me see here. Okay, so this here is going to be an electronic wheelchair. So you see here, it has a joystick, and this controls the wheels down here so that they can turn in certain ways. Okay, so this is a joystick. It's like a steering wheel. Okay, and they use it with one hand. Okay, others don't have that, and they're similar to what we see there. Okay, these would be the wheelchairs. Now there's also sports wheelchairs. Yeah, that's what I was going to get at. So sometimes they play basketball in wheelchairs. Okay, and they're specially designed for playing sports. Okay, and they're really cool. All right, these guys do some really awesome stuff. Okay, so yes, wheelchairs help those who cannot walk. All right, yes. So for those who are disabled. Okay, so medium. Let me have you use the word wheelchair in a sentence.
Okay. My grandmother has got an electric wheelchair.
Good. My grandmother has got an electric wheelchair.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's go to Samantha. And this is our last one for transportation. Okay, so go ahead and read this word, please.
Yacht.
Yes. So class, the CH is silent here. The word is yacht. Okay? Now, what is a yacht used for?
It's used for travel on the sea. In the sea.
Yeah, it's used for traveling in the sea.
Yes.
And these are usually or typically very expensive.
Yes,
right?
very expensive. Yes.
So they have a lot of really cool features. All right, things that that you wouldn't have with a regular boat. Yeah, but these would be yachts. These are yachts here. Very, very expensive. Very big and lavish. Okay, things like that. All right, so let's see. Samantha, let me have you use the word yacht in a sentence, okay?
In my country, people very rich have a yacht.
Okay, so people who are, and you would need to say who are, so people who are very rich have yachts.
Yes.
Yeah, so people who are very rich have yachts. Very good. Okay.
Yes.
And yes, it's usually those who are wealthy that have the yachts. Okay. So we are done with our transportation and travel words. Okay. I'm going to pull up my next one here. We're going to be going over buildings. Oh, where did you go? Buildings, and here we are. So buildings and places. Okay, I'm not able to. I wasn't able to load this up on the screen. Dang it. Sorry, not on the screen, but on the in the class materials. I kept trying, but it wasn't letting me do so. All right, so give me 1 second here. Get to. All right, so we're only going to be able to look at this on my screen. All right, and I won't have any of the other special features. Okay, so we're going to be talking about places and or buildings and places, and more importantly, things that we find inside of those places. So talking about restaurants, the supermarket, the bank, okay, stores that we find in the cities, things like that. Okay, and so just a lot of different vocabulary words here. Okay, so let me see if I can zoom in a bit, and yeah, it's not going to let me do that very nicely. Okay, so our first word we're going to take a look at is right here. Didn't do it. Dang it. Okay, so can you guys see this okay? All right, so let's go to Vincenzo. What is our first word here? Vincenzo, can you hear me okay? Okay, let's go to Bruno. Bruno,
Yes.
What is that first item?
Airmail.
Yes, Airmail. Okay, and Airmail, and I do apologize when I switch out. It doesn't. Let me go back. Okay, so Airmail. Now, Airmail, this is something that we used to use a lot. Okay, most of us don't write letters anymore. Okay, but I know about 10 years ago when I was living in Argentina, I wrote mail back to my family that lived in the United States, and I used Airmail to do so. Okay, and it usually has a border that's around the side that looks like this. Okay,
Yeah.
and that means that it's being sent in an airplane. Okay, and that's how we used to send mail. I don't know if you guys remember that. Is there anybody left in class that sends mail? Okay, does anybody still send letters?
No.
No, everyone. Yeah, I figured.
No.
Can you remember back about 10 years ago? Did you write letters to anybody then?
Yes.
Yeah?
More often than
Yes, I did.
Okay. Yeah, so about 2000 to 2003 or so, 10 to 13 years ago, I was still writing letters. I would write letters to people instead of using email. Even though email was very, very, very huge, I didn't have my first email address until I was like 21, 22. So I didn't use email all that much. But yes, it was popular. So we used to send mail, and when you send it to a different country, you can send it via Airmail. Okay. So Bruno, let me have you use the word Airmail in a sentence. Okay.
Yeah. 10 years ago, I used it to send to my family airmails to give news about me.
Okay, very good. And we would say used to give. So that that would be more of like a T sound. Used to send airmail. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Esther. And Esther, what is this word right here?
An air mattress.
An air mattress. And what does it look like that person is doing?
For I don't know.
Okay. Now he's got his hands in the water. Okay. Some places have community pools. You may have a pool in your city that you can pay a little bit of money and go swimming at. All right. Some of you may actually have a pool in your backyard. All right. But yes, we would use an air mattress to float on.
Oh, to float. Oh, okay.
All right, and so he's floating on the water with an air mattress. All right, and I used to do that a lot when I was younger because I lived in Arizona and it would get really, really hot. Okay, so yeah, air mattresses were great, and we would float in the water. You can also use those in the ocean. That would be another place. So talking about places and buildings, so the community swimming pool. Okay, we could say community swimming pool.
Community swimming pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, as well as community swimming pool as well as the ocean. Okay. Could use these at. And the verb that we use is to float. So let me have you use this word, air mattress, in a sentence.
An air mattress is used for float in the water.
Yeah, so floating.
Float.
Okay, floating in the water.
Can you type, please?
Sure,
Floating?
definitely. Okay, so our base is
float. Okay.
Okay, and that would be floating like that.
Floating. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, very good. Okay, class, we are out of time for this hour. Thank you for coming to class. Tomorrow we'll continue with our buildings and places and items vocabulary, and we'll do the same thing and talk about the words and increase your vocabulary. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you. We'll see you.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you so much.